The CRTC wants to know how radio, TV, and digital platforms in Canada can best meet the needs of Indigenous viewers, listeners, and content creators. Join the conversation today at crtc.gc.ca/indigenous-broadcasting.
A message from the Government of Canada.
Le CRTC veut savoir comment la radio, la télévision et les plateformes numériques au Canada peuvent mieux répondre aux besoins des spectateurs, auditeurs et créateurs de contenu autochtones. Joignez-vous à la conversation aujourd'hui au crtc.gc.ca/radiodiffusion-d'union autochtone.
Un message du gouvernement du Canada.
I'm Rick Harp. This is your APTN News Brief for Wednesday, May 15th. The trial of a non-Indigenous man who's admitted to killing 4 Indigenous women continues in Winnipeg. Jeremy Skibicki's defense team claims he's not criminally responsible due to mental illness. And on Tuesday, proceedings included testimony from a DNA expert and a Crown request for a mental assessment. T.R. Wheatley reports a story with some disturbing details.
Crown prosecutors called to the stand a DNA analyst from the RCMP National Laboratory in Ottawa. Inside the courtroom, Florence Celestine appeared on a big screen. She testified that for about a year, she examined over 100 exhibits consisting of muscle tissue, clothing, shoes, pillows, cups, and blood, particularly from stains around the bathroom where Skibicki told investigators he killed all 4 women. Celestine said she wrote 12 different summary reports relating to DNA for this particular case. She explained this is more than what is considered an average crime scene, where normally she said she does up to 4 reports on her findings. All of the exhibits were gathered after Skibicki was arrested on May 17, 2022 for the murder of Rebecca Contois. It was later during his interrogation he admitted to also killing Morgan Harris, Mercedes Myron, and Buffalo Woman. Defense mentioned during cross-examination they also have their own DNA expert, adding the comment, "Our expert confirmed your results." Crown prosecutors also asked the judge on Tuesday to order a psychiatric assessment for Skibicki to see if he was suffering from a mental disorder at the time of the killings. Since defense has made capacity an issue, the Crown can now legally request an assessment. Defense was opposed, but Chief Justice Glenn Joyal granted the Crown's request. Court heard it could happen as early as this weekend. Up until now, there has been no mention by either side of whether or not Skibicki has even had a psych assessment. For the rest of the week, the Crown is expected to call another handful of witnesses, including regular civilians and Skibicki's estranged wife, who in the past has talked about his escalated violence that led up to her leaving him. T.R. Wheatley, APTN National News, Winnipeg.
For further trial coverage, go to aptnnews.ca. And should portions of this report prove triggering, supports are available 24/7 at 1-844-413-6649. To Chimn Cree Nation, some 450 kilometers north of Winnipeg, where RCMP now investigate a 14-year-old's homicide. On Monday at 1:25 a.m., RCMP were called to a nursing station at Chimn, where a 14-year-old girl was reported as suffering serious injuries. Pronounced dead when officers arrived, her death was later determined to be a homicide. 19-year-old Kingsley Lachose is now charged with second-degree murder and failure to comply with a release order. The Regina Police Service hopes to locate 2 Indigenous girls missing from the city's north-central area. 9-year-old Larea Blue Eyes and 12-year-old Layla Blue Eyes were last seen leaving their home on foot Monday at 4 p.m. in the 4200 block of Regina's 4th Avenue. Police say there's no evidence to suggest either girl has come to harm, but are considered vulnerable due to their age. Fire season in the Northwest Territories has already proven to be an active one, and in the southern region near the Alberta border, multiple road closures and telecommunication issues continue. Over the weekend, drivers headed north from high-level Alberta to Hay River NWT. It was a similar situation along the British Columbia NWT highway. Now the Dene Métis community of Fort Liard is on evacuation alert after strong winds push flames to just 19 kilometers southwest of town. Fire crews have focused on protecting structures, and while the fire hasn't crossed the Liard River, it's still considered out of control. The territorial government held its first press conference Tuesday afternoon to discuss preventative measures such as infrared scanners on planes.
We've also used reports from the public to inform our action. Now that the snow is cleared off the ground, something that's going to be important for us as well is going to be satellite detection methods, remote sensing. So that's something else we use. And of course, we use a network of detection towers and cameras, largely with 360 cameras on them. All of these methods will help us discover fires.
And finally, talks between the Woodland Cree First Nation in Alberta and Obsidian Energy seem to have fallen through. Following a very brief meeting Monday at a Peace River hotel, participants could be seen leaving, including Woodland Chief Isaac Labakan-Averam and councillors, as well as Obsidian President and CEO Stephen Lucas. In a video by reporter Brandy Morin with Ricochet Media, a councilman said, quote, "There was no intent on Obsidian's Energy's part to negotiate," unquote. In another video, Obsidian CEO walks out the back door, saying only Rangers in 6, a reference to ongoing hockey playoffs. It's been more than a week since the Woodland Cree First Nation set up a traditional camp and blockade on a road Obsidian Energy uses to access one of its oil well sites. Woodland leadership say they want a fair share of profits Obsidian makes from drilling on their traditional territory. A court injunction issued last week against Woodland Cree was immediately cast into a fire pit by Chief Labakan-Averam, an injunction RCMP have so far yet to enforce. At least 14 other First Nations are showing support for the Woodland Cree, along with some non-Indigenous industries. And that's your APTN News Brief for Wednesday, May 15th. I'm Rick Harp.